Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another show. Good evening, welcome. I hope you've had a fantastic day and you're sitting back and relaxing and ready to listen to our show, The Quick Take. Now, this is, of course, the show in which I get the views of all the regular podcast guests and get their thoughts and feelings ahead of the next available fixture, and that is, of course, against Aston Villa. A game in which, I can remember a game against Aston Villa at the Emirates on the first game of the season a few years back that didn't quite go to plan, and we're going to be hoping that Arsenal can muster something a little bit different to what the Arsenal team that day could by pulling all 3 points out of the bag. But considering we're coming off the back of our last Premier League game being a slightly disappointing one, we're hoping we might be able to see some improvement from that game. But that's enough from me, because this show is all about the other guys on that show, and that is, of course, everyone that you see every single week on the podcast. So I'm going to have enough of me talking, because I do it frankly way too much, and I'm going to throw straight to them. Sit back, relax and enjoy.
Good afternoon, this is Kenny Kane, and this is my prediction, my preview for the weekend's game at the Emirates Stadium, 4:30. Aston Villa visiting Arsenal. First and foremost, I just want to say well done to the lads yesterday for getting a 3-0 win in Frankfurt. I was very happy with the team selection. I know some people were not. Good mixture of youth and experience. And the pleasing thing, apart from the win, was the fact that we got some young players who are, in my opinion, are knocking on the door for the first team. However, I know you're going to ask me, should Sacco start? No, the reason why I don't want Sacco to start is not because of his footballing ability, it's because you don't want to overload them. You want to sort of give these youngsters, a game at a time. He'll definitely be playing against Nottingham Forest next Tuesday. We're talking Aston Villa. Aston Villa had a mixed season, but they're going to be, make themselves very difficult to beat. They're going to play the same sort of tactics they played against Tottenham in their first game of the season, where they were unlucky to lose. And what we're going to have to do is move the ball quicker. I know Unai Emery's under a bit of pressure, so Sunday's game has to be a must-win. Even this close, this early in the season, it's a must-win. But in terms of morale, and not just for Unai Emery, but morale for the fan base, I think a good performance and a good win is what's required. In terms of my team selection, I'm going to go with a team that started against Watford. I don't see any reason why that team isn't good enough to beat Aston Villa. So, in essence, that gives Mesut Ozil another chance to shine. And put himself into Unai Emery's thinking. In terms of the score prediction, I am going for a 3-1 to Arsenal. Enjoy the game on Sunday. I'll see you guys soon. I'm now going to go and do a nice workout. I know you're looking at me massive chest. And see you later. Bye-bye.
Gooner Talk listeners, this is John coming to you from Miami at 305cast on Twitter. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my thoughts on the upcoming Aston Villa match. Before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about what happened at Watford, only to the extent that we need to still learn from some mistakes. It was an overall good performance. We got to see some great stuff from the youth players, from Willock, from Saka, from Martinez. This was very good signs going forward. And I said on my last video, we needed to bounce back, and this was one of those performances where we did. Overall, I think it was a comfortable win from us in a very difficult atmosphere, which is good, especially for these young players. But going forward, we can't allow this many shots on goal. It doesn't matter whether it's Liverpool or City or Aston Villa. In the Premier League, if you keep allowing these shots on goal, not only just on goal, but ones that the keeper actually has to make a save, reasonable chances. I think that had Frankfurt been a little bit more clinical, we would have been in a lot of trouble, and it wouldn't have been as comfortable as it ended up being. I'm not saying Aston Villa will be that comfortable or be that clinical, but there's certainly the chance in the Premier League. And when you concede those kind of chances, you're bound to let some in. So we need to really, really work on that. I think we need to forget Watford, in the sense that it was a tie and it was kind of like a capitulation, but remember it only insofar as we can't allow that to happen again. We need to be a little bit more structured, specifically in the midfield, and a little bit more disciplined in our defensive line. Once again, doesn't matter if you're playing Watford, doesn't matter if you're playing Liverpool, doesn't matter if you're playing Aston Villa, you cannot allow that many shots on goal. Eventually some are going to go in. If you're going to do that, and you better be outscoring them on the other side, which could be a tactic, but it's a dangerous game that we play, because it really puts a lot of pressure on our attacking play to be on point. If it's not, we're in big trouble. So that being said, I think that we need to still play to our strengths, be a little bit more hesitant to allow them that many shots on goal, try our best to stay compact in the sense that we're not allowing all these chances. I think Pepe, I would like to see him get on the score sheet sooner rather than later, because it's starting to get to that point where it's a little concerning. We're not there yet, but at the same time, every match where he doesn't score can't be weighing on his confidence. That being said, I think this is going to be a comfortable win for the Arsenal. I think 3-1. I think we're going to let too many shots on goal and probably concede one, but I think we're going to come away with 3 points.
Evening, everyone. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is my quick take for our game against Everton this weekend. Yesterday we got a nice victory against Frankfurt. 3-0 victory, clean sheet. Very impressed with Martinez. Saka got amongst the goals. Aubameyang was in there as well with the goals. We missed a lot of chances, and this has been the theme of our season: missing chances, conceding chances. Now, we face Aston Villa on the weekend, and we've not really always done well against counter-attacking teams, and I'm sure they're going to be very, very compact when we get to face them. Right, we're facing them at the Arsenal, we're facing them at the Emirates, and it's a game that you'd expect us to go and get the 3 points, but it's not going to be as cut and dry as we think it's going to be, because I'm sure they would have studied how we play. But it gives everybody a chance to redeem themselves against Watford, against that performance that we put up last week. Because even though it was a draw that felt like a loss. I want the boys to go back and redeem themselves. Some people got rested in the game, so I expect the likes of Socrates to be back in the team. Chambers did really, really well yesterday. But Maitland-Niles is probably going to be in back into the team, because he had a woeful game against Watford. Like, Delafeu tore him apart. So I expect him to go back out there tomorrow. On the weekend and put in a brilliant performance. My prediction for the game, I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet at home. I'm expecting a brace from Pepe. 2 goals from Pepe. I think we'll get the 3 points tomorrow. And the manager is under a lot of pressure. So they need to dig the manager out of the hole that is in right now, because the fans are actually piling it on. So, he's got a vote of confidence from people like Vinay, but they need to go and get the job done tomorrow. Come on, Arsenal.
This is Lee Judges. My prediction for the game against Aston Villa at the Emirates. I think it's going to be a difficult game. It'd be interesting to see what sort of tactics Emery does for this. It'd be interesting to see how many shots they get off against us at home as they do away from home. It'd be interesting to see the difference between the two formations and what we are like at home. On the back of a great result on Thursday, no one, I don't think, would have predicted us to win 3-0. Yes, we did concede a lot of shots, but at the end of it, it's all about getting results and getting a win. This is what we got. So I still think that this game has no relevance. I think it's going to be really tough, tight. Villa are a very, very hard team to break down. So I expect a real hard game, tough. I expect Mesut Ozil and Ceballos to be playing in this game to give us many opportunities to break them down. I just think we've got to worry about them on the back if they get us on the counter attack. But I'm hopeful that we can keep another clean sheet. I think that we're going to win this 1-2-0. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think that we're break them down eventually, and then probably get one late on. So I'm going to go for Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0.
Hey guys, it's Matt Webb from the Gooner Talk at Webby AFC 182. So I just managed to get this clip in before going to coach the Year R and Year 1 development squad, which I do on Saturdays, which potentially is 20 to 25 4 or 5-year-olds running around like headless chickens and not following instruction for the most part. I think Emery's got an easier job than that. He's got a squad which is full of talent and all, you know, professionals with loads of experience, and yet we still can't get it right on game day. We still can't get our team lineup or our structure right to stop these shots on goal. Thursday, I thought we was a little bit lucky. I thought if Lady Luck wasn't on our side, it would have been a totally different game, and potentially we could have been 2 or 3-0 down before being able to get back in the game. So I was happy for the win, but again, I see underlying problems all over the pitch. That being said, moving on to Sunday, we won Thursday, so we'll draw a line through that and move on. Tomorrow we got Aston Villa. Aston Villa got 4 points. They've only scored 1 goal away from home, and you know, they got a -2 goal difference. I kind of said all this stuff last week about Watford, and then look what happened. So I'm sort of biting my tongue a little bit whilst saying these things. But at the end of the day, I still think that we should get the win. I still think that being home against the team, which is what, 3rd or 4th from bottom, you know, we should be able to get 3 points. I still think it'll be difficult. I still think that we've got a lot of concerns, and I still think that until we get our you know, hub of the back four properly in line with Tierney, Bellerin and Holding coming back, then we can't really see where we're sitting and what extra work needs to be done. So have a good weekend. Here's to be hopeful. Up the Gooners, and let's hope for a win.
Hey everybody, it's Miggity Mike from the Gooners podcast. I'm doing a quick take today for 2 because my boy Andy is holed up in a opiate den somewhere recovering from surgery. So this one goes out to Andy. Got you, man. Anyway, Arsenal against Aston Villa. Man, it's the first time in 3 weeks since the North London derby where we're going to be playing a game here, baby, and we don't lose in this mug. So I'm going to stop talking like that now. Enjoyed watching the Arsenal-Frankfurt game, man. I mean, it was a great soccer game. And before you start getting on my case for saying soccer, I didn't say soccer. I said Saka, as in Bukayo Saka, the brand new Ballon d'Or winner after his game against Frankfurt. Will he play on Sunday? No. Might be on the bench, but he's not going to play. Let's not get a little overblown here, but it was a nice outing. In any case, Aston Villa, I see us coming hard. I see Pepe scoring a goal. I see Luiz scoring a goal off a corner kick. I see Willock scoring a goal. We're talking broken ducks all over the place. Ducks going to be flying, breaking, pieces of duck going everywhere. It's going to be awful and beautiful at the same time. But can Aubameyang play after having played 90 the other night? Absolutely. Dude has endless energy, so he'll still be up top. Same back four probably. Maybe we see Holding coming off the bench. Excited in a week or 2 to see our other defenders coming back after their U23 performance later today. And let's just stop this Martinez stuff. Played a wonderful game the other day, but he's our number 2. Leno's our number 1. And as long as we don't turn the ball over in our own box 74 times like we did against Watford, we should have this one easily. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1.
So there you have it, all the boys' thoughts, predictions and previews ahead of the Aston Villa game. I'm personally always the optimist and going for a 2-0 win. I can't wait to see what happens and what we can expect to see from the lads and the lineup that Mr. Unai Emery goes for. Will he play Saka? Some of the boys thought so, some of them didn't. But it's going to be intriguing to see how we decide to line up, especially still with Lacazette out. And with Bellerin and Tierney getting minutes in the under-23s, who knows what the future may hold for our defensive line, but we'll have to wait and see. But thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed the show, please give it a like and subscribe, and make sure you turn those notifications on so you never miss a show. Now, for those of you that have not been getting those notifications, some people have been unsubbing and resubbing to get that sort of clicking over. The classic British way of fixing things. So if you just unsub and resub, hopefully that'll fix things for you. I hope it does. Please let me know in the comments if you are starting to get notifications come back through, because that's very helpful for me. But enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you are doing, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal. And I'm leaving a pause because I'm fed up of saying it the wrong way and it cutting me off. So there you go.